Hey everyone, welcome to our species spotlight on the Amano shrimp, scientific name being Cardina multidentata. This is a shrimp that's found throughout China, Taiwan, and Japan. The adults inhabit freshwater rivers and streams. Reproduction, in fact, takes place in brackish water environments like the estuaries that these streams flow into. The fry will inhabit those brackish water areas and then migrate their way back up into the freshwater streams to spend their adulthood. They're capable, obviously, of dealing with fairly good water movements, some strong water movement. They gather together in large troops or colonies, and the Amano shrimp actually was brought to popularity by Takashi Amano, who typically maintained numerous specimens in his world-famous aquascapes to control detritus accumulation and to constantly control any nuisance algae outbreaks that could take place. Now we're going to get into a little bit about behavior, size, coloration, tank mates, and so forth. They're very peaceful shrimp, like many species of this kind. Larger of the dwarf shrimp, they can get up to 2 inches, maybe a little bit bigger for large females. The coloration is kind of a translucent grayish color, with males having a series of dots and females having a series of long dashes along the side of their body. You want to maintain them in good-sized groups. You could stock them at the rate of about 1 shrimp for every gallon or 2 is not an issue. That would make sure that they have enough natural things to nibble and feed on all day long, as they like to do. Like shrimp, like other shrimp and other invertebrates of this kind, they molt. A healthy growing shrimp is going to molt, and when they do so, they're a little bit more vulnerable. So a little bit of care taken there on what fish that you're going to mix in with them, obviously. Substrate that you want to keep in a setup with shrimp would be the typical compressed plant soils, little balls. Those are good. Their fry can hide in amongst the substrate. And if you're not going to go with that, well, then something like a mixed gravel bed is fine. Larger to finer pieces where you have some nooks and crannies in the substrate is a good thing. Obviously recommended for a planted tank or for keeping with other shrimp. They are really effective algae consumers, so even nuisance types of algae like black-bearded algae are easily controlled by these shrimp. Introducing them gradually into a setup is really important. They are a little bit susceptible to abrupt changes in water chemistry, so make sure to drip them for a good 30-40 minutes to make sure that you don't send them into shock or anything. Other than that, when they acclimate, they're very, very hardy shrimp, and they're actually suitable for beginners. Now a little bit about the water conditions. Basically, they have a very low tolerance for substandard water quality. They require a tank free of ammonia and nitrite. Should have a functioning biological filter with these shrimp. pH level should range anywhere from about 6 to 7. Preferably for aquarium keeping, somewhere close to 7 is actually preferable. Easier to maintain, and it is their preference, in fact. Hardness level should be something like moderate, softer to moderately hard water. KH range of about 2 to 6 DKH, 2 to 7 DKH is ideal for them. Temperature range, somewhere between 75 and 80 is typically good. 75 to 77 being the sweet spot. And of course, when it comes to lighting, you want to maintain them in lower to medium lighting setups if possible. If it's a highly illuminated or strongly illuminated plant tank, typically the planting is very dense, so they'll be able to find spots that are more comfortable for them, for sure, in terms of lighting. Now, when it comes to feeding, these are omnivorous invertebrates with a skew towards vegetable matter or plant matter. So you want to make sure that most of the offerings contain some algae, spirulina algae, various vegetables. Frozen foods are good too. A little bit of blanched spinach or zucchini every once in a while. Really good treat for these small invertebrates. So in summary, this is a great addition to a planted aquarium. A very peaceful invertebrate, and the dimensions that makes it suitable for keeping in a small to a larger tank. Just make sure to maintain them in good sized groups. It's a great challenge for people that want to take on a really, really good invertebrate to reproduce. It can be done, but it is definitely more difficult, and it will be nice to see more tank-raised amano shrimp in the hobby going forward for sure. Even though their colors are relatively subtle and not super bright like some of the other shrimp that that are available in the hobby, their movement and their efficacy in cleaning algae and preventing detritus buildups is really useful. Great invertebrate to keep in the planted aquarium. Just remember that when you're keeping them with fish, that they really should be very small, peaceful species to avoid any issues with fish keeping. So there you go, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Till the next time.